From historic Doyle Field in Leominster, we welcome you to snow globe conditions, although steadily improving on this April the 9th, Tuesday evening. It's spring coverage of spring athletics here on Rivalry Family Media. Alongside Bill Thomas and Kate Robbins, Todd Robbins for RFM this evening. We bring you a first for RFM, and that is spring athletics. And our opener for spring athletics, outdoors inside the bowl at historic Doyle Field. Boys lacrosse will get our spring action started as Leominster will play host to Marlborough. We welcome you up to our press box broadcast location alongside Bill Thomas and Kate Robbins. Todd Robbins, as I said, for RFM. And Bill, welcome, of course, to another season as we advance this little project just a little bit farther tonight. And we get a chance to bring some action tonight that is ever unique. This is a sport that 20 years ago when I was in high school did not exist in Massachusetts, except for very select schools. Shortly thereafter, in the next 4-year run, there were programs. They started as club teams, and Leominster has steadily been growing that program probably over the last 15 years or so, to the point now where this sport, not just here in Massachusetts, not just here obviously in Leominster and the Twin Cities around, but across the nation, the fastest growing team sport for boys and girls is lacrosse, bar none. It's about action, it's about transferable skills, and it's certainly about these athletes from other seasons want to continue to use those skills they hone in other parts of the year.
Yeah, it's non-stop action basically, and I'm going to be learning as we go. I'm going to be perfectly honest, but I'm really looking forward to today's game and just learning the nuances of lacrosse. I'm a little out of my element here, but I'm really looking forward to this. A couple of great teams coming off good first game wins, especially Leominster shellacking of Fitchburg 17-2, and hopefully they can carry that through. But I'm liking this little setup we got here, and I'm really looking forward to it. From this to softball to boys baseball as we get into the spring season. However, my agent will be calling you. I didn't plan on working in under 50 degrees in snowy conditions mid-April, but we'll talk about that.
I didn't plan on the snow as well, but that's what makes it New England. It's been a full season kind of day. We started with a little bit of cloud. We saw a little bit of rain, and then the rain got a little bit steadier, and then the snow began, and just before we came on the air, the snow increased to as we said, those snow globe conditions. It's backed off just a little bit here. Welcome the third member of our broadcast team.
Howdy.
Kate Robbins joining us here on the press row here at Doyle Field. And Kate, we were talking just a moment ago with Billy about, of course, the sport, and I know for you and him, this will be a first time you will experience it. But I told them, fear not, my first opportunity and exposure to lacrosse came at Syracuse University about 15 years ago. I had never seen a lacrosse game before. It was my first assignment podcasting there. They're like, go call the women's lacrosse game. Sure, yeah, absolutely, said the eager young freshman looking for the airtime on the radio. And they made me the analyst that night. I was analyzing a sport I'd never seen before. You two are going to
sounds like that's what
it's going to be fantastic.
I got 2 pages of rules here.
Absolutely. It's equal parts, for those of you experiencing it for the first time with us tonight, it's equal parts soccer, equal parts hockey, a lot of physical contact. The men's and women's game, or the boys and girls game, drastically different depending on how you look at it. This game tonight, end to end, they wear helmets, they wear some additional equipment, a lot of contact. But Kate, the one thing that we've noticed over the years, and I've developed an appreciation for, is the offensive nature of this game. This is very much an offensive game. I was saying just the other day, talking to some lacrosse players, the goalies in this game are fairly ancillary. Making a big save is probably a huge victory for any one goalkeeper who can put a body on it. They don't really have a great chance.
Well, and this is one of those things when you talk about transferable skills. This is another reason why men's and women's lacrosse is one of the fastest growing team sports in the nation. It's electric from end to end. You're not going to get really 1-0 game. You're not going to sit there and as much as people love, soccer and baseball and softball, sometimes low-scoring affairs can be fairly arduous, and most of the time you're not going to get that in lacrosse. And so it's an incredibly exciting sport. A lot of goal scoring on each end, high-scoring drama all the time. So it's very exciting. I do have a girls update. Leominster girls varsity lacrosse victorious 14-1 over Bay Path this afternoon. So we do have that update, and we'll have some other scores around the region as we go.
Indeed.
To fill some time.
Indeed we will, as we get ready for action here on RFM. Of course, you can always find us out on YouTube. Search up at Rivalry Family Media. You can find us on Facebook at Media Rivalry, same on Twitter as well, at Media Rivalry, to follow along with us and be a part of this great broadcast coverage throughout the spring. Billy alluded to it. We'll get into the schedule that we'll be taking on throughout the spring, but it will include softball coming up next week, baseball in the weeks to come. We're very excited. I can imagine. It's going to be a lot of fun, so we'll look forward to it.
Oh my goodness.
It certainly will be.
Wait till you hear Todd and I go outside. You're just going to look at us and go, you people are insane.
Yep, I'm looking forward to it.
Oh, that's going to be fun.
Moments from action. We've got Leominster and Marlborough for you. Face-off is next. You are watching Boys Lacrosse, Leominster and Marlborough on RFM. Back inside historic Doyle Field. Introductions over. It's Rivalry Family Media's coverage of boys lacrosse as the weather continues to change moment to moment here as we get toward first face-off. Weather conditions have switched now more to rainy conditions. Umbrellas up here in the rows in front of us as these two teams get set for action. Leominster wearing the white tops, white bottoms, trimmed in royal blue, combination of black and white helmets out on the field for the blue and white. Meanwhile, the Panthers on the road wearing the road dark orange with the black trim, black bottoms, black helmets with orange trim on their side of midfield. Coach Colin Davis's squad getting set for their second game of the year. Remember, both teams with wins last week in their first game of action, so each team comes into the game 1-0, and for both teams, this is their first mid-watch league action, so first conference action of the season. Bill Thomas, all that important to get started with a victory.
Yeah, we always want to get off on the right foot. Both of these teams did non-conference games, and I was looking at the conferences and a little mixed up compared to what we used to see in football.
Yes.
But competition's competition. I'm expecting a great game here today.
Indeed, and of course Marlborough had a great year last year, so Leominster certainly knows what they are up against here. And of course, one of the many distinct differences we'll talk about in these two games as we kind of go back and forth between boys and girls lacrosse throughout this spring. We'll start with the cross itself, or the stick, as the uninitiated may refer to it. Distinct differences. Shape of the sticks are similar. Shape of the cross, top of the stick, very, very similar. Boys, a much more well-defined pocket tends to be the difference. It allows them to sling the balls. It's correct. As in, there is one. Which leads to the all that much more drastic difference between their two sticks. And of course, the other thing is draw control, where you start. You know, in boys lacrosse, it's a face-off right on the running devil at the L there. There'll be a mark. They will actually scrum for the ball to open the games. In girls lacrosse, you'll actually see them pin the ball between the sticks, and it goes up more like a jump ball.
That's more like hockey.
Yes.
Just drop the puck as they stationary, but then both of them go at it.
And in this case, it's a bit of a
down,
scrum.
up and down.
I've got an update. Marlborough graduates 4 100-goal scorers last year coming into this year, so potential rebuilding.
A year worth of growth for Coach Ralph Bono's squad. And right off the bat, Leominster wins the face-off and controls. And down the field comes Anthony Larson. Larson, of course, famous from Thanksgiving football this year. He made a name for himself with an interception and return for a touchdown in that Thanksgiving Day game. And, of course, that's the great part of getting to see these players in different facets as the seasons progress, as you find other things that they are good at, other transferable skills, if you will.
Leominster winning the opening face-off of this matchup. Retained possession.
A lot of ball control in this game. You're looking for that opening, and like you say, a lot of plays developed, and there's one right there.
Larson with a quick find up front. The shot from Taylor went wide of the net and was knocked down and controlled by the keeper for Marlborough.
Intercepted by Leominster.
Yeah, indeed it was.
Bad pass by the goalie.
Right on. Shot and score!
Goal.
Yeah, Zach Moran with the pick middle of the field. Came with the sidewinder and finds the back of the net. And puts Leominster on top 1-0.
Led directly off that turnover by the goalie. You're going to see the goalies involved a lot starting fast breaks, and that was just an errant pass that Leominster quickly turned around.
1-0 Leominster, about 45 seconds into this one. 12-minute quarters in high school boys lacrosse. And Anthony Larson's back at the center X for the draw. And the Dragon controlled again by Larson, and he's flying down the middle of the field. Shot wide, backed up by Leominster. It's Cam DeWolf on the backup. Interesting, distinct difference between lacrosse and other sports. You see when the ball goes out of bounds, doesn't lead necessarily to a change of possession in lacrosse. Team closest to the ball where it went out of bounds retains possession.
Whoever gets to it first.
It's a race to wherever it goes out. There's an angled shot by DeWolf. He hit the crossbar and sent the ball up into the stand's far sideline. Leominster backed up again on the sideline.
And what you see is multiple balls placed around the field so they can quickly get play going again. They're not chasing balls in the stands. Just pick one up and let's play.
Yeah, action on the restart, always important.
Yeah, familiar name right now for the Leominster faithful. Adam Couch with possession for Leominster.
And he'll start from X. The bounce shot up front won't go. Loose ball picked up there by Taylor, and Taylor will take back behind the net. That location referenced in Lacrosse as X. They work from behind. Leominster setting up their offense up front. They work from behind the net. It's Moran to trigger. Moran brings it to the circle, looks to center, now goes back up top. Snap shot, low and score! That's Adam Couch with the bounce shot past the keeper. And it's 2-0 Leominster.
And I think that you're going to see more of that bounce shot. That's the go-to shot. You try to hit the goalie low and get that good hop. Leads to a Leominster goal right there. Often looked like a set play. Developed from behind the goal, come out, played off on that right wing, and Adam put it in. Sounds just like football.
Indeed. Indeed. Names are very familiar.
Once again, a face-off, and Leominster controls the draw.
3 for 3 for Leominster on face-offs.
And Larson's won all 3 of them.
If you can retain possession on that face-off, then you're going to be in the offensive zone for the vast majority of the game. And right now, Leominster with control for the vast majority of this first quarter.
And a 2-0 lead in the early going. Here's Moran up front, finds it, one-time shot, score. It's Nate Taylor up front again, and he goes low past the keeper, Sean Deneen, and Leominster's got a 3-0 lead, 9:45 play in quarter 1.
Quickly 3-0, and all upset plays there. You notice they developed that from behind the net, look for that open guy, and just bounce it in there. Tell you were correct when you said the goal is basically helpless. He helps the ball hit him.
If they make
he
a
needs
great
a
save,
blocker
it
and
is such
a couple of big pads on his legs for stuff to hit.
huge deal. Their cross is substantially
helpless.
bigger than what the players are using out around the field. But aside from that, they don't have much else for help. Looked like some contact called on the Panthers there, a little check off the face-off, so Leominster's going to get possession. Larson had control of it but couldn't seem to scoop it up. But off the whistle, Larson's got it on the restart, coming from the midfield stripe, 9:38 to play here in quarter 1, and a 3-0 Leominster lead, half field to our left, Kate? I was going to say half court.
Sure. Right now, Leominster 3 of 6 in their shooting. 6 shots on goal, 3 goals for Leominster right now.
Here's Larson with the quick speed up front. Taylor, shot and score! 4-0. Quick out of the gate. 9:18 to play in the first quarter.
Once again.
And Leominster again, Larson to Taylor.
Center and pass. Worked to perfection right there. Marlborough's got to do something to collapse around those guys that are in front of the net. Use their sticks a little bit more and clear them out because Leominster's having their way from working behind the net, out front, bam, quick score.
Less than 30 seconds between goals for Taylor. He had the first at 9:45, the second at 9:18 right now with the 7 shots on goal. Leominster 4 of 7. 4 goals, 7 shots total.
And now Larson will take a cell at the sideline, which will change the face-off X.
Interesting.
Battle on the face-off. Leominster with the control again. This one's Lucas Taylor. Taylor upfield. Ball is knocked down. Got a ground ball over to the near sideline. Swept back. Leominster will scoop control with Aaron Glenn. Leominster makes a change behind the play. Moran with control down right sideline. He'll work his way back toward X behind Deneen. Moran up front, finds Taylor, shot, score again! And frustration for Deneen, he axes the side of the cage, down 5-0, 8:52 to play here in the first quarter.
Wow. Once again, set play, and Marlborough's going to attack that ball handle a little more. They're just letting him set up. I think they're going to have to go after the ball handle and try to get him out of their rhythm back there, 'cause just picking them apart in front of the net.
There's certainly a lot of space for Leominster to work behind the cage, and at that point, you don't have to do a lot. Send one guy one way, one guy the other. Defense splits, and Leominster's finding room up front.
You got to pressure that passer. He's trying to make that centering pass at the very least, make it tough for him.
Midfield battle again. Larson back in the game, and he'll win the faceoff again. Leominster is perfect on faceoffs thus far.
5 for 5.
Once again, working behind the net.
Larson with
control.
speed, changes
Another
angle,
goal.
top
Wow.
shelf, score.
I sent it past that time.
No, not at all. Larson did the work himself, little roll dodge off, and goes top corner left for a 6-0 lead, 8:37 to play in the first quarter.
Wins the face-off and takes it right down the field and scores. So we got wholesale substitutions here. And one thing, I think you got a timeout. You can take 2 timeouts a half, I believe, and you can make substitutions on the fly, much like hockey.
And the officials are allowed to do 2 random stick checks per game, and they've chosen 2, one from each side of the field. And so the officials are discussing. They've put a ball in and out of the pocket. They've got Anthony Larson's cross for Leominster. They have another cross from the Panther side of the field. Have not seen them test the pocket on that one as of yet.
So what are they looking for, Todd?
I'm got to assume they're looking for the pocket, much like in hockey. You remember they're always looking for the curve of the stick, right? So in lacrosse, you're looking for a deeper pocket, a pocket that's beyond, of course, rule spec. Means you can get a little bit more whip action. They're allowed 2 of these a game by LIAA rule. They can do 2 random stick checks per game.
Showing the officials here, but I have no idea what they're looking at. They're tipping the stick around, and looks like they got some kind of gauge.
You see it much more often in the women's game, because after every single goal, the goal scorer is required to drop their stick, and they check it right there after every single goal. Yeah, much different game.
They've tested, looks like Larson's stick again. You're trying to figure out if the ball is...
It's a ruler or some kind of a protractor?
It'd be a measuring tape.
It is a measuring tape. Thank you, Kate.
So what's the outcome here, Todd? What if he's found to have an illegal stick?
It's an excellent question.
A goal?
Well, they won't penalize a goal, I would imagine, but you could potentially
be a penalty.
Serve over here at the table, of course. A man-up situation possible.
Talking to the Marlborough
coach. Ralph Bono having a discussion with the officials. He doesn't appear. They could, of course, toss the stick. They could toss the player. There's a variety of choices they have available to them. The officials coming over here to talk to Coach Colin Davis. Anthony Larson coming over as well.
See what we got.
And Larson gets told to step back. Now the conversation with Colin Davis right here in front of the main bench area for Leominster. 8:37 to play in the first quarter. Leominster with a 6-0 lead here in quarter number 1. And Coach Davis has got the stick. He'll give it to Larson and
get rid of it.
It looks like, they're going to put it out of play. No penalty, it appears. Larson appears confused what to do with the stick.
Marlborough also had to get rid of theirs as well.
Interesting. So
offsetting penalties.
To the bench they'll go. They've got to find somebody's cross to get Larson back in the game. Meanwhile, Lucas Taylor's back in the draw circle for Leominster. And now the battle, and the Panthers swept it free. Signal for procedure, and they're going to give it back to Leominster. He must have pinned it. It looked like 30 on the play. It was David Coltrane on the face-off for the Panthers, got called for the infraction.
So other than the stick getting confiscated, was there any other repercussions from that stick measurement?
Nope, 6-0 Leominster lead.
No penalties.
Well, it's offsetting because Marlborough had one as well.
Yeah, and so both sticks went out of the game. Leominster with control. Left side of the field, 8:10 to play here in quarter 1 and a 6-0 lead. Low sidewine shot from the Wolf, got deflected. The backup for Leominster. Great hustle to the sideline by Nate Taylor. And Leominster will have control on the restart.
Closest team puts it back in play.
Indeed they do.
Even though they were the person that
Billy
put it out.
Rule Guru over there.
Hey, I'm learning. One rule a day.
One rule a day.
Moran's working his way around the circle. He looks up from
nice
Taylor. Yeah, indeed, it got knocked down. Panthers trying to clear. And now a call for, I believe it was a stick check away from the play. And Leominster's going to get control on a restart.
Place can be pretty liberal in this stick check. You see a lot of beating around the shoulders and the gloves, and even around they're wearing helmets. So it's all about being aggressive on the stick.
Absolutely.
Second turnover of the game for Marlborough.
And then all of the action in the first half of this first quarter has been field to our left, as Marlborough has failed to cross the midcourt stripe thus far. With control, it's Cran. Cran for Moran. Moran goes back to X and finds DeWolf. That's 5-3 if you're following along. Pass going out toward the sideline was thrown away. And in this case, the Panthers are going to get their first offensive possession. Turnover for the Blue Devils.
See how they can work the ball downfield here. They haven't had possession past midfield the entire game here.
Long sticks with control all the way back to Dean, the keeper, and he'll start the action moving up the field. That whole backward to go forward mentality you see sometimes in soccer. Working their way down the right side of the field, it's Kyle Casey. Casey will work his way forward. Around they go through the back of the net, up the left side of the field. And it makes its way back to the point in Ossack.
Looks like the Princeton four-corner stall to me.
It does. Casey, they're just cycling around the outside of that restraining area, going in and out of the box.
There's no shot clock, so they can work it around.
That's correct.
Take all the time they want.
And round and round and round we go. Ossack through Casey. Kind of playing that point position, if you will, if you want to equate it to a little bit of basketball.
Triple threat position.
Indeed. Ossack comes to the near side, Casey. Casey is center. Off target. Ground ball. Leominster in position. Little body action on both sides. And Leominster scoops it up. Jimmy Cran there will grab control. Start the turnout. There was a stick whip there. And a flag is out on play.
We're going to see a penalty here.
Officials will come over to the near side. A 1-minute penalty for slashing called against the Panthers, and so Leominster will get a man-up situation here. The Panthers will play man down. 1 second, under 6 minutes to play here in quarter number 1, and Leominster with a 6-0 lead. Leominster will have control on the restart with a fresh cross. It's Anthony Larson.
Setting up in the middle.
Lots of room in front of Larson. Larson will sling it off to Moran. Moran and Larson inside the restraining area. Top of the key. Larson rips a shot wide of the net left. Backed up by Leominster's DeWolf. And he'll trigger on the restart.
You don't even have to inbound it. You just walk it in.
Yep, that's it. Wait
Stop
for the whistle.
playing, get back in play.
If you're trying to look down at the turf here at Doyle Field and kind of follow the colors,
Blue.
it's the blue lines down on the field are the boys lacrosse lines. DeWolf getting slashed by those long stick defenders. Moran for Larson. Shot and yes, picked up by Deneen. And so Deneen with his first true save of the game.
I marked it.
Indeed. And scooped up there. Now they go back to Deneen. He's going to trigger from all the way back. 5:05 to play. Quarter number 1, a 6-0 Leominster lead. Dangerous pass up the middle of the field leads to a ground ball. And now the race. Leominster's long stick in the general position there. It looked like Spilio's in the area. It was that or Payne, the other long stick.
Gets it back to goalie.
Yes, indeed. And Leominster will come up field. That's off the cross. It looks like Kenny Aubuchon playing the crease for Leominster.
Turnover off the fast break.
Yeah, and there's a bounce shot and a score. Indeed it does. Pablo Garcia. Quick turnover. Stretch the field. Right back downfield and bounces it past Aubuchon.
And don't think by any means that Marlborough's out of this game down 6 early goals. You see how quickly it can turn around. And how quickly a team that looks like they've been outclassed suddenly gets a little momentum, a turnover, and they score their own goal.
This is absolutely an offensive-minded game. Make no mistake about that.
You know, one of the things, if you're wondering why everybody's kind of standing around at midfield, defenders cannot cross midfield.
Correct.
They can't. Everybody can't chase the ball. Midfielders and offensive players play offense. Midfielders can also come back and play defense, but everybody cannot converge on the ball on the same side of midfield.
That's right. So much the same way you see in soccer, field hockey, and other sports of that nature. Procedure penalty called against the Panthers. They couldn't follow instructions on the face-off, and so Leominster's Larson gets possession.
That was kind of bizarre.
Half of life is following instructions.
I'm telling you, that's the half of it. One educator in the world.
Follow the instructions.
Larson takes it back to X and looks up the middle of the field. Goes top of the key, finds his way there for Van Mol with the shot. And score. Finds the back of the cage. And it's a 7-1 Leominster lead as Leominster avenges the goal down the other end. 4:16 to play. Here in quarter number 1, you're watching Rivalry Family Media's coverage of boys lacrosse here from historic Doyle Field at a rain-soaked, snow-once-covered field here on this April 9th, 2019.
Sprinkling.
Yeah, rain, snowish. As you look up in the lights here at Doyle Field.
See if they can't get this right this time.
And there goes down, indeed.
Couch wants in. Couch wants in
so
there.
badly. Adam Couch, 21 on your screen, looking for an opportunity. He just needs the ball to come loose. Leominster sweeps it loose, and the Panthers will scoop it up with control. That's Krista Foley with control. Lost it on a bad pass, though, and Leominster will pick it up in transition. Long stick coming over the middle of the field is Spilios. Spilios will drop off to a short stick and make a change on the near sideline. Now Taylor getting whacked by the long stick down the left corner of the field. Rearing back for a shot, slung wide the net there. That was Dawson. Leominster had the backup with Moran over on the sideline. And Moran will have it on the restart. 3.5 to play, quarter 1, 7-1, Leominster's lead. Bouncing ball by AC. AC cradles, goes back to the top.
That's a Leominster name from our era.
Indeed it is. With control, Dawson. Dawson cradles, slings now, finds his way into the hands of Adam Couch. Couch for Moran. Moran rears back, and he hit the side of the cage. Nice shot. And he launched it from long distance there, but Deneen used the cage, cut the angle, and now picks up a loose ball. 3 minutes to play, and here come the Panthers. A little trouble with the initial passes there. It's a little stick whip there from Moran as the ball crosses midfield. And back downfield come the Panthers. Panthers will set up their offense. Now, much like Leominster was setting up their offense on half the field, working their way from X behind the cage, the Panthers want to cycle the ball here. They keep working it around the outside of that restraining area or box, the blue box you can see down on the field.
Incredibly deliberate in their offense.
And they're waiting for that one opportunity for somebody to open up in the middle and then, much like you would in basketball, slash your way to the basket, if you will.
One thing Leominster was doing was not wasting any time getting the ball to the center in front of the net. A couple of passes behind the net, and they were immediately attacking. Marlborough much more patient.
Indeed. Garcia on the cut. Finds his way to a double team. Roll dodge off, tries to throw a pass back. It missed the target, and the Panthers lost it out of bounds. They weren't able to win the back up to the line.
Third turnover for Marlborough.
And so here's Abishon to trigger for Leominster. Goalie coming up the middle of the field. Now they feed the long stick. This is Payne. Payne moves it upfield for Taylor. Taylor, side of the cage. Looked like DeWolf. The shot went wide. Now the backup. There's a flag out on the play. There was some contact around the circle.
That would be the goal crease.
Yes.
Restricted area.
Unnecessary roughness called against the Panthers. It'll be 1 minute for Will Fantasia, served over on the near sideline. 1:45 to play in the first quarter and a 7-1 Leominster lead. Bear with us, Bill Thomas, to covering many a thing.
It's hard finding the ball.
Give yourself a little space, Bill Thomas. It's okay. Folks want to let you pull back. Shot side of the net.
Save.
It hit Deneen. The ball is loose. Left side of the cage. And Deneen will scoop it up. Nobody can enter that crease, circle, call it whatever you will, that surrounds the cage. So it does give the keeper a little bit of room. Now, though, at this point, he has control. He's following from his net.
Uh-oh.
Poked away by Moran. Deneen flees back to his circle and gets there before Leominster can get down. The sideline shot hit the back of defender, loose up front and swept to Deneen in that goal crease. Last minute to play here in the first quarter. Leominster with the 6-1 lead. Up the right side of the field. Long stick goes downfield. Finds its way. Yeah, great pass. Stabbed out of the air. Middle of the field. Off target. Around the back of the net. And Abishon and the rest of the Blue Devils, including Connor Marchand, will find their way on the backup. So Leominster with the long field, about 40 seconds to play. Pass off target. It's bouncing toward the near side. Leominster will chase it down on the long stick there. That's Dandini. Dandini races toward the middle of the field. Little roll, dodge, had his pocket picked. Loose ball, Connor Marchand will pick it up. Last 20 seconds of the quarter. Marchand took a stick to the face as he crossed midfield. Flag now out. Marchand just trying to run out the clock. Last 10 seconds of the quarter. Potential scoring opportunity. Now Taylor. Final 8 seconds here. Back, he finds its way to DeWolf. DeWolf goes up top. Larson with a quick snipe shot over the crossbar. And that is the way the first quarter will come to an end. 1 quarter of play in the books here from Doyle Field. Boys lacrosse action. Leominster 7 and Marlborough 1.
Let's clarify the flag, Todd. I saw Connor Marchand run past midfield. Is that what he was being flagged for?
No. That was, I believe it was the stick he took to the face.
Oh, okay.
And so it'll be a 1-minute penalty on Connor Osek. So Leominster will start in a man-up situation when we begin second quarter action. Kate will have a first quarter stat update for you in a moment.
So the delayed penalty call there? Is
yes.
That much
flag
like
is
in
up.
hockey then?
Yes.
Okay. As long as Leominster had possession, play on.
They would continue playing on until the stoppage.
Learn as we go. Learn as we go. I didn't know if I saw Connor Marchand, he's defender. He ran past midfield.
Yes.
No violation there?
Same thing as with
Immediately
soccer.
gotta give up the
It's
ball?
no, as long as you have the
control?
correct number of players
you can
on
switch
one
in
side
and
of
out.
the line or the other,
Okay,
you can
gotcha.
play along. It's just the long sticks tend to be better for defense than on the offense.
So you're
than
not
smaller
restricted
sticks.
by designation, only in
Correct.
the area that you're in at any given time when it comes to numbers.
That's correct, Bill
I
Thomas.
gotcha.
As we welcome you up to our press box location here, end of quarter number 1-7-1, Leominster lead. Bill Thomas pulling double duty, as is Kate and myself, to bring you this RFM coverage of Leominster boys lacrosse, a first for Rivalry Family Media. Coverage will be available on YouTube. You can search Rivalry Family Media on YouTube at any time. It'll be out on Facebook as well. We'll do a Facebook Live delayed stream tomorrow night. More information on that on Twitter. In both cases, both Facebook and Twitter, at Media Rivalry. For more information, Kate, through 1 quarter, what's standing out on your stat sheet?
All right now, obviously, the 7-1 advantage for Leominster, but if we take a look at statistics right now, Marlborough 6 ground balls to Leominster's 8. Marlborough only had 2 shots on goal. Leominster 18 shots on goal in that first quarter. In man-up situations, Leominster was 0 for 2, and Leominster won 6 face-offs. They only lost 1 face-off in that first quarter of play. Both teams with 2 turnovers in the first quarter, and right now, Leominster also winning the penalty game.
So I have a
penalties.
penalty question.
Sure. Oh, gosh.
When a team is penalized,
Yes.
what side of the field does their penalty player have to come from?
That's an excellent
Does
question.
it get pulled off the offensive half or the
that
defense?
person.
Where do you unbalance
that person leaves the field.
So if he was playing offense at the time, can they shift somebody up, or they play short-handed on that side?
That's a really
I'm
excellent
curious
question.
on how they cover.
How they would go about covering it, Bill Thomas. We'll ask the questions as we continue. My experience was limited to women's lacrosse.
I got you. I stopped
and you did.
But
we'll roll with it. It's a much different game.
Numbers are restricted by midfield.
Yes.
If a defender goes off, does that mean you're playing short-handed on defense?
It's an excellent question.
I'm kind of curious on which way you rotate your players in and out. If you leave yourself short on the far side of the field, wherever the ball is or isn't, you can rotate that extra player to cover for shorthanded.
For the moment, I'm going to say yes.
Wow, never like that low.
Yeah, we're going to work with that.
Sounds good.
Sounds like a plan to me. 7-1, Leominster on top of Marlborough. As we get set to start second quarter action, teams will change hands.
Osek wanted to be on the field for the Panthers. They reminded him, you got
so
to
much.
Number 1 in the box.
Leominster is playing man up for the first minute here of second quarter action, as Leominster will go left to right. Larson. He's won 4 face-offs all by himself. That one he swept into the defensive backfield, and Leominster eventually does win control by Pete Spilios. Spilios looked upfield, tried to find Moran. Moran couldn't get his cross on it. There was a race to the end line, and whistle, and the ball is going to go back the way of the Panthers as they won the race. And Deneen kind of plays point guard from back in that goal crease. Will start the trigger. 30 seconds into the second quarter, Leominster man up in a situation. Bouncing ball controlled by the Panthers on the offensive end. Loose ball. Couldn't complete the pass, and Anthony Larson with the pick, and he's on his horse. This kid can fly down the field, left to right, right up the middle of the field, coast to coast shot. Tried to hammer it down from high to low and missed it over the crossbar. Back up, though, for Leominster. It was DeWolf. Johnny on the spot will get the restart.
Just weaving his way through Marlborough players there.
Final 10 seconds of the man-up situation. A low sideline shot there from Van Mol is wide of the net right. Leominster wins the backup again. Final 6 seconds here of the man-up situation. Here's Larson. Larson working with Dawson. And now back to X with control. It's Moran. Moran stalling time. Penalty is over on the play. There is a call for a violation against Leominster, and it's a turnover. Ball back to the Panthers.
What did they do, Todd? Somebody get.
Last time I checked, you go to your hockey playbook, that's interference. Take it for what you will. Long stick defender coming up the middle of the field. Ball tipped loose. And out of bounds and back to Leominster. Right now, I think for the Panthers, largest thing they're struggling with in transition is completing passes one to another, let alone warring their way around the defense.
Leominster has been impressive with their passing game, nice and crisp.
Indeed. Larson feeds Moran, and Moran can tend to slow the action here. And, of course, because teams can turn the offense around so quickly, maintaining that lead, managing the lead is as important as building it. Shot hits the side of the cage there, no good for Moran, and loose ball picked up by Deneen. And Deneen lofts it up the middle of the right side of the field, completes that pass, and here come the Panthers in transition. Into the offensive attack zone. Ball bounced loose off the foot of a defender. A slash takes the cross right out of the hands of a Leominster player, Jack Philbin. And the loose ball going back the other way for the Panthers.
Pick a Philbin, any Philbin.
Indeed. Jack and Kyle, 25 and 26 in your programs in lacrosse.
My faves.
Formerly 50 and 51 on your football program. That one goes to the back corner of the field. Race won by Leominster, and in the position is Payne. Payne will win the restart for Leominster. And here they come down the field. Bill Thomas, you'll like this. Call that the Lizzie Borden defense. Just hack all the way down the field. 9:20 to play here in the second quarter. 7-1 Leominster's lead.
The hack attack.
Yeah, that's it, indeed.
Lizzie would be proud.
Indeed, she would. DeWolf takes it back to X. Lots of room back there. Panthers not willing to chase in the backside of the zone.
Just kind of letting him set up back there. We'll have to see if he can work it in front. A little ground ball.
Yeah, got poked away with the stick there, and Deneen picked it up in the circle.
Players have to stay out of that circle. They can reach in with their stick.
Yes.
But they cannot step into the circle.
Nor interfere with the goalie's work in that circle.
Correct.
Bad pass through the middle of the field. Leominster picks it up, and here comes Payne. Long stick into the offensive zone. Drops it off there for Dawson. Dawson, little roll, dodge shot, kicked away by Deneen. Put back shot, won't go there for Van Mol. Loose on the field, now whistles away from the play. Flag is out late on the play. And I believe Leominster's had a possibility of a man-up situation.
A lot of action in front of the goalie right there.
Looks like Leominster may be guilty here. Perhaps they did commit a little bit of interference in that circle area.
We'll have to see what the official said. A little cross-check or something. Come over here to the sideline.
L.J. Van Mol is heading toward the bench. Coach Colin Davis spoke with him, and he's heading toward the penalty area.
Officials having a conference.
Discussing exactly what they saw on the play. Clock stopped, 8.5 to play. 7-1, Leominster's lead on Rivalry Family Media. And here comes the report. So Van Mol called for unnecessary roughness, and it'll be Panth ball.
In the penalty box right here.
Yes, indeed. There he is.
Quick picture of him.
Billy.
Bill Thomas offering that Kodak moment for you.
Hey, we're going to get everybody their TV time.
Billy and his years in corrections.
That's right.
The offender.
The offender, if you will.
He'll be rehabilitated.
In 60 seconds.
60 seconds. He'll be
Bill Thomas, side note, you would have been very proud of my students today. They were having a discussion on their radio show today about the difference between the correction system. Is it about rehabilitation, or is it about serving some kind of a penalty and paying off your debt to society? Fascinating conversation when conducted by school students.
If you'd like me to come in and speak to your class sometime, I'd be happy to.
Shot high over the cage and backed up by the Panthers. Bill Thomas, I just might take you up on that.
Oh boy.
Just got to figure out how to make corrections fit into the
We used to refer to it as the 3 R's of correction.
Yes.
Are
any of those R's not family oriented?
Rehabilitation.
Yes.
Reintegration. And reincarceration. Those are the 3 R's of correction.
Those are indeed 3 R's, I'll say that. Under 8 to play here in the second quarter.
Oh boy.
7-1 Leominster's lead. They try the sidewinder, does Landry. Bouncing ball, still loose in the middle of the field. Lots of jerseys in there. Leominster, it looks like they have position on it, and they will come out with it. It's Ethan Payne who scoops it up. No, check that. Pete Spilios with the long stick got the scoop.
Nice job evading the defender there.
Bouncing ball up the middle of the field, still not controlled. Now this is Payne with the long stick with control. Moves it into the offensive side of the field, and a whistle behind the play. Looks like a timeout.
So feel free to use that, Todd, the 3 R's of correction.
3 R's of corrections.
Rehabilitation,
yes.
Reintegration, and reincarceration.
Got another stick check going on here, people.
Let's see what we got. Now who?
Second stick check of the half, if you will.
A
random sampling, if you will.
Trying to see that number 1 doesn't have a stick over here. I'm wondering if that's whose stick they grabbed.
So it looks like Ryan Iacy would be the person with the stick scooped.
On the other side, I'm not sure who the Marlborough player was that they grabbed it from.
7:19 to play, second quarter, 7-1. Leominster's lead on our first spring broadcast here on Rivalry Family Media. During our open, Bill Thomas alluded to some of those broadcasts coming up here this spring, and next broadcast on our calendar comes your way on Monday, April the 15th, Patriots Day here in Massachusetts, or Marathon Monday, and right now the forecast, not all that inviting, but softball will be the action. It's Rivalry softball, Leominster and Fitchburg at Leominster Lassie League Field. First pitch is 11 a.m. We'll be on the air. We get 5 minutes ahead of time here on Rivalry Family Media.
Good news. Both sticks pass muster.
They were handed back. Yes, they did. Long out there with the tape measure and the protractor.
Indeed. A little farther down the spring, other games on our calendar right now. Monday, May 6th, boys baseball against St. John's. A 6:30 first pitch at historic Doyle Field, up on the diamond for that one. Another baseball game Saturday, May the 25th, North Middlesex and Leominster, 11 a.m. And then boys lacrosse backwoods toward the tail end of their season, their senior night, Tuesday, May 28th. Wachusett in Leominster, 6:30, and that's just some of the games on our calendar right now coming up this spring. More come, again, more information on Twitter, @Media Rivalry, for more information on our upcoming spring games.
So Todd has
our local listings.
That's right.
Todd has our spring completely planned. I hope you weren't planning on doing anything.
Bill Thomas,
my recent schedule.
I was going to say, he's only on his recent schedule.
Any day but Thursday.
Yes,
Any day
we're good to go.
Can I have a day? Can I pick a day?
Every day is your day, sweetheart. 7-1.
That's good. Good answer. Good answer.
And here we go on the restart. We continue
trained.
out of the timeout. 7:10 to play here in the second quarter, and Moran with control. Takes it back to X, feeds it up front for Taylor. Deneen knocked the ball down, and Deneen with a save. Third of the game thus far, and here's what I will say. Make it 4, says Kate. And here's what I will say. Leominster ripped off those first 7 goals very early on in the first quarter. Came out, great, fast start, but the action has settled substantially.
Substantially, they haven't scored. Nobody scored in the second quarter.
There's a cross-check side of the gauge. DeWolf went flying. I believe they've signaled Panther ball. No harm, no foul, away we go. A lot more contact in this game than you'll see in some of the other broadcasts we'll have coming up for you this spring. A game of speed, physicality, agility. It's no wonder it's the fastest growing team sport in the United States. Leominster takes it all the way back down, long way right side of the field to Abishan, the goalie. And Abishan will outlet right back down that right side, transition to left as Leominster takes it to the offensive zone with the long stick. That was Payne. Dropped it off, in this case to Adam Couch. Couch stops top of the restraining area. He'll drop the ball off to Moran, who's being poked by that long stick right in the ribs. Cradles with the offhand, now settles back at X. Leominster a little stagnant. Moran throws a fake, rolls, ups the pass off Larson. Long distance, rips off the shot. Wide right and backed up by Leominster. That's Nate Taylor on the backup. Here comes Taylor. Back of the cage to Moran. Snap shot left, hit side of cage. Loose ball maintained by Leominster, and Moran's got it back. Moran cradling and getting poked away by that long stick. Feeds up top. Couch tried the one-time shot, got it knocked out of the cross, and picked up in transition. Here we go the other way. Right to left come the Panthers, and it's Will Fantasia. Fantasia up the middle of the field. Couldn't connect on the pass through the middle of the offensive zone, and the race to the end line backed up, won by Leominster, and the ball will go back to the Panthers. 5:12 to play. Second quarter, and Leominster still with that 7-1 lead.
Nice fast break there by Marlborough. Just couldn't convert on that last pass in front of the net.
And Connor Marchand takes the ball down the right side of the field. Bounce pass up forward, finds its way to Zach Moran. Moran settles the action, back right corner of the offensive zone. Goes back top of the restraining area, finds Adam Couch there. Couch drops it off for Anthony Larson. Lots of room to work. Larson trickles his way down the left side, replaces Moran back at X. 4.5 to play here in the second quarter. Starts the run out, and then throws on the brakes and takes it back, does Larson. Now here comes Larson again from the left side. Finds Couch, shot from the top of the key, and it scores. 8-1, top of the slot shot and a score for Adam Couch. He's ripped a few of those shots, and this one was on the mark and in the back of the cage.
Nice patience there by Larson. Just waiting, picking his spot like a good field general does, and pick the right person. Nice job by Couch.
Kate, we talked about it a little bit earlier as far as, getting to see these players in other opportunities.
Yes.
They look substantially different in different seasons as well, and I think that's probably a little more difficult to appreciate when we saw somebody like Marchand or Couch play during the football season. You don't notice just how lean their legs are. Larson's in particular, you can just see.
Larson,
he's built to run.
No,
he's built to run.
Larson, you can tell, was
a lot of padding on those legs. So leaner. Okay, I'll give you that one.
I've always been taken by just how tall the Philbin brothers are. As sophomores, I just kind of like, hello, Tree 1 and Tree 2. They're quite large.
Face off right back midfield.
Get a close up here.
Yeah.
Really watch the action here on this.
And the battle persists. Taylor not able to win it initially. Panthers swept it forward from Coltrane, but Leominster picks it up. Nice job of the long stick. Pete Spilios scooped it up. And Spilios will keep control of the offensive end. Snaps a pass downfield. He was looking for DeWolf. DeWolf couldn't reel it in, and the defense sweeps it back to Deneen.
5th turnover for Leominster in this quarter.
Final 4 minutes of this first half of play. Deneen playing along the back line. The keeper himself slings it out to the right side of the field. Looks for a transition through the midfield area. Now on the attack. Here come the Panthers. Down that right side. Long on the offensive zone with the bounce shot wide of the net left and out the left sideline. Back up by the Panthers.
Only the second shot on goal for the Panthers in the second quarter. Getting yelled at by Mike. You're Father Time over there, Mike, not me.
Kate controlling that clock you see on your screen.
Not very well.
Trying to stay in sync with the scoreboard clock. It's pretty good, all things considered. Rivalry Family Media, the home of technological innovation.
And multitasking.
It only took 20 years. Yes, and multitasking. And the Panthers playing catch in no particular rush. This is an offensive scheme I have never seen before. And they botched it. Now he's scooping back up loose. I've never seen that before. Back to the top. It's Garcia. Garcia had the goal earlier. He's got a quick first step. Had it poked away there. Swept now down. Picked up there by Connor Marchand. Marchand takes a couple of stick hacks, and he's got it in transition.
12th ground ball for the Blue Devils in the second quarter.
Sliding and falling was Moran, lost ball. Ball still loose. Battle for the ground ball. Marchand in there with the long stick says, I'll take that, and he'll run his way out of trouble. Drop it off for Moran, down right sideline. Moran keeps it away on the offhand. Now the cradle, nice fake to the inside. Goes back, out, shot. Deneen knocked it down with the cross and caught it out of the air.
Nice save right there.
Deneen's 6th save in the game.
Last 2 minutes here of the second quarter, and Leominster's 8-1 lead. Up through the middle of the field, bouncing ball is eventually going to be played by long stick. Swept it up there for Leominster was Dan Deeney. Still loose on the field.
This is excruciating.
Watch the attempt. That one was kicked loose there, and now moved up the middle of the field. Flag is out on the play. That one came late. I think the call might be for a push, or it looked like a cross-check, the signal. I think the signal is going against Pablo Garcia. Panthers have struggled to stay at even strength. Man-up opportunity here for Leominster, it looks like.
Number 9.
Yeah, cross-check called against Pablo Garcia. He'll get 60 seconds to think about it.
Let's see, equal opportunity for Pablo. Where are you, Pablo? There you are.
Pablo's right over here, Bill Thomas.
Oh, this side.
Wearing orange.
Wearing orange.
Wrong 9.
There he is.
I hear a 9er in there.
I had 9.
And Anthony Larson trigger on the restart. Controls on the Leominster half of the field to our press box right. Final 90 seconds here of quarter number 2. Moran cycles around for DeWolf. DeWolf out the side, looked like that was Cran.
Over the top of the cage. Come on, boys.
That jump pass made famous by the Gate brothers, or the jump shot opportunity there.
Just jump.
Street lights now on here at Doyle Field. Shot from the side, tough angle, but finds its way home.
Somehow.
That looked like Cam DeWolf by my eye over on the left side of the field.
We'll go with it.
9-1. Leominster opens its lead to 8. 1:15 to play here in the first half.
Leominster take advantage of that power play right there.
Well,
And that
they're
is-
going to correct us. No, they're saying Zach Moran.
They
on
gave
that.
it to Zach Moran. Moran, DeWolf, a 3 and a 4. They look the same from long distance. I did freely admit it was to my own eye. No guarantees.
You're better than that. Come on.
1:15 to play second quarter. 9-1. Leominster's lead. Battle for the draw. Larson wins it with body position. Scoops it up, and Larson seemingly still undefeated on the face-off today.
He's pretty good, though. So
Indeed he is.
He might have a future in this game.
Well, and that is a great specialty. When you go to look to play at that next level, there are lots of draw specialists. So all they do is run in, win control for their team, and run off.
Yeah.
So it's a great opportunity.
It's kind of like if you're a place kicker.
Exactly. It's a special team type opportunity.
Except you're part of a scrum.
Moran feeds up front. DeWolf, outshot, was swatted away by Deneen. Battle on the field. There was some contact, looked like a hold against Leominster, and Panthers will get them all. Panthers look to set things out with the final 38 seconds here of the first half. Down that right side of the field. Long run out for the Panthers. Advance the ball forward. That was like 33. I stop at 30 on this particular roster, of course. And there's a contact call there. Looked like it was away from the ball, however. And so turnover back to Leominster. They'll have a chance for one more scoring opportunity potentially here in the final 19 seconds of the first half. Up the middle of the field they go. Connects with Couch. Couch draws a little screen as he heads down the right numbers of what would be the football field. Here's Adam Couch. Couch with the centering pass. Missed its target. Lost by Iacey. Now loose on the field. Scooped back up by DeWolf, and Leominster will run out the final seconds. Halftime here from historic Doyle Field with a score. Leominster 9 and Marlborough 1. Leominster has controlled seemingly from the word go the opening faceoff, and they have held right on to it for the entirety of that first half of action.
Not a bad first half of Leominster. They were kind of slow there in the second quarter, but they came out on fire. Put up the six goals, I think, in the first 5 minutes of that first quarter. But Marlborough changed up their defense a little bit there, kind of started packing it around the front of the net and stopped those entry passes. Definitely changed the tone of the game there in the second quarter.
Leominster indeed with control. Halftime here from historic Doyle Field on Rivalry Family Media. 9-1 Leominster's lead here at the half. Kate will have our first half stat recap when we come back. We step aside for halftime here. You're watching Leicester Boys Lacrosse here on Rivalry Family Media. Back to historic Doyle Field in Leominster. Rivalry Family Media's coverage of spring sports here across.
Spring?
It is. It is.
Liar.
It's one of the 4 seasons we transpired to and through here today. Been a little rain. No sun. We've had snow and a few other things along the way here as we get set to start second half action of this Leominster and Marlborough boys lacrosse game. Third quarter about to get underway.
I thought when you told us 4 seasons, I thought we were talking about Frankie Valley.
Frankie Valley and these are my 4 seasons.
Frankie, it's a sign.
Did I mention I was in Florida last week? It was 85.
You did mention
I just
that.
let you know.
Yes,
Just let you know.
yes, it
We were in
is.
Philadelphia. It was 78.
I was going to say, it was nicer in Philly.
I thought you were at the Masters after what I saw was being
the
posted this week.
Masters.
That's
Oh, no, that's just me. I love the
I'm like,
Masters.
wait a second, we have a game this week.
It's my next stop, Bill Thomas, and that game is back underway.
Oh, they're playing again.
We're back to action. Leominster has a man-up opportunity as we start this second half of action. And away we go. Larson with control. The off-angled shot got knocked down by Deneen. Leominster with a 9-1 lead as we begin second half action. And Kate, I know you're starting to tabulate, but
no.
what jumped off your scorecard there from the first half, second quarter in particular?
we got a goal.
Meanwhile, a low sideline shot, and Zane Dawson splits the 5-hole and scores. And Leominster's lead is now 9, 10-1.
Zane, that's a new name.
Indeed.
Starting off the second half much like the first half. Quick goal.
Fast starts. Coach Colin Davis's squad, without a doubt. Fast starts, posted those first 7 goals in the first quarter. Second quarter kind of slowed the action a little bit.
Things jumping off the stat sheet, I'm actually able to follow my stat sheet, which is kind of a victory in and of
I
itself.
never doubted you.
This is tremendous. That's about it, though, for right now.
All right.
I'll come back at you later.
Anthony Larson back on the face-off and wins himself another. Takes that one away from Connor Osek, who tried his hand. Osek had the lower center of gravity, but Larson had better body position. Here's Moran. Matriculates his way down the right side and will work his way all the way back to X. 11:20 to play in the third quarter and a 10-1 Leominster lead. Moran with control. Shuffles back and forth across the end line. Looking for an opportunity. Leominster's trying to flash player through the middle. It was DeWolf. Now Moran. Moran will drop back. That lung stick drove him back away from the cage.
I like that poke.
That
the poke
jab
poke.
into the ribs will certainly make your point.
The poke.
Pass doesn't connect along the sideline. Leominster scoops and maintains control. It's LJ Van Mol. And Mol finds his way to Cordio. Cordio for Larson. Larson works his way down to the right side. Now back behind X and Moran. Slowing the pace. Leominster's pace much more deliberate here. Now with that 9-goal lead. Moran a couple of swim moves, try to challenge a defender. Feed up front. The shot was wide. Backed up by Moran once again. Felipe Ramos, by the way, is 21 with the long stick. He's an 8th grader, according to the roster we have in front of us. That pass was long, and eventually Leominster cannot put a fork into that one, and they'll lose it over the midfield stripe, and the ball will go to the Panthers. Panthers will take it in transition down the left side of the field. Bouncing ball. Now controlled, and they'll take the ball. Behind Leominster's cage this time. Kenny Aubuchon has enjoyed a relatively quiet night. He surrendered just the 1 goal and the 1 shot they generally faced in the first half.
Yeah, one shot, 3 shots on goal total.
Shot was ripped wide and high. That looked like Osek from way deep in the restraining area. Backed up by the Panthers. And delay of action as Osek will tie a shoe here. 9.5 to play in the third quarter and a 10-1 lead. Whistle to begin play on the restart. A little jab step forward. Thirteen is Nieves. Panthers continue to cycle the ball around the outside of that restraining area in the attack zone. They'll work their way now up the left side of the attack area.
Very patient.
Indeed, they have been. They have been patient all day long, but it's not translating into scoring opportunities. Definitely a number change here in 33, as no 33 is anywhere on a Panther roster. And he would, of course, figure prominently into the action. Why? That's how we roll here at Rivalry Family Media.
There's always that one.
Pablo Garcia.
He looks to be about JV size.
Panthers maintaining a lot of space in that attack zone. Trying to find somebody who can slash down the middle of the zone. Can't connect on the pass as they try to find a feed. And that one will be scooped up by Tano Dandini. And then Dandini back for Abishan. Abishan tried to lead the transition up the middle of the field. He was looking for Larson. Couldn't connect. And the ground ball scooped up by the Panthers. They're right back on the attack. Panthers are going to have to start trying to move a little bit quicker at some point here, chasing 9, even though we are in that early going of the second half.
Samuel Johnston is number 33.
Thank you, Kate.
You're quite welcome.
Under 8 minutes to play here in the third quarter. Panthers, Johnston can't connect the pass. Loose ball bounces its way to Pablo Garcia. Garcia's got a goal and 2 penalties thus far. Low sideline shot, ripped wide of the net. The race, Abishan tried to get into it for the backup, and the Panthers had position. It's Lucas Hone with the backup for the Panthers. Hone's got it on restart, and now a whistle away from the play.
Timeout?
Yeah, looks like they have asked for a timeout on the field.
Yeah. Players are coming over to the sidelines.
Clock stops, 7:38 to play in the third quarter. 10-1 Leominster's lead on Rivalry Family Media. Hope you're enjoying this action in tape delay on this Facebook live stream, as well as available on demand anytime on our YouTube channel. Search at Rivalry Family Media.
Leominster timeout. Their first of the second half. They have 2.
Kate, we'll come back up upstairs here for
good.
a little
Yay.
visit here in our broadcast palace here. That is the Doyle box here at historic Doyle Field. And although we are a couple of minutes into this third quarter, what stands out to you numbers-wise from that first half?
Right now, I'm very pleased with Leominster staying away from penalties. Shots on goal right now, Leominster in the first half, 28 shots on goal to Marlborough's 3, which is absolutely fantastic. 10-1 in favor of Leominster for winning face-offs. Leominster's goalie hasn't really had to...
Hasn't been challenged.
No, other than the one goal. There's only been 3 shots on goal, so
yeah.
everything dandy there. Right now, in ground balls, Leominster ahead there as well, 23-18. And overall, just a really great offensive effort.
Yeah, those ground balls on top of the face-offs. Leominster has control, and what it says is total domination. On the offensive side of the field.
I need to learn how to read these stats better.
No answer for Larson at the face-off circle at all.
Quint Kesnick. That's the analyst you're looking for.
You want me to write that down?
Yeah, and that's the analyst you're looking for. You want to channel.
Why is it that every time we do something, I get homework?
I'm in education. You give out more than I do on the daily, so I give it out in the podcast.
Because you don't give out any. You're an elective teacher. You teach an elective.
You have to be prepared for your broadcast whenever that is on the schedule in my class.
And in Todd's life, that means...
And on the restart every day, live radio.
Todd, the world is your runway.
No, the world is my students' runway. My job is to just help train them. Moving my way forward, here is Osek and the Panthers with control. Hone.
That's a nice pass.
Hone with a feed. Yeah, step through there for Casey. Casey with the shot. Wide right. Abishan's got back up for Leominster. And Leominster will win the ball in transition. And here comes Connor Marchand with a long stick. Marchand taking a couple of heavy whacks here as he tries to move the ball forward, trying to get his way to midfield. He'll hand it off for Iasi, who will take it in transition across midfield. Iasi with the sling out to the left. With control, nice bot position for Zane Dawson. Flag out behind the play. Shot for Lucas Taylor is a score for the moment.
A little flip inside right there.
Will it stand?
Have to see if he was
They allowed the action to continue, so I'm going to believe yes.
Coming for a center face-off.
This will be a man-up opportunity for Leominster on top of the goal.
Leominster right now 0 of 2. 0 of 4, pardon me, in man-up situations. 0 of 4.
I dare not correct you, but I believe they had one man-up goal at the end of the first half.
All right, well, then I'm probably wrong. Ooh, an illegal body check.
An illegal body check is the call. And so 1 minute. They've got to get whoever the offender is off the field, and he's running his way over here. It's Connor Burke who gets called for the illegal body check. And man-up opportunity for Leominster. And Larson on the restart.
Let's get a close-up of Larson's work here at center field.
Indeed. And there's the whistle, and Larson right away scoops it forward, and now the ball pops loose still. And the Panthers come out with it initially, then lost it again, and now Larson ends up with sustained control, and down the field he goes. Had to do a little bit differently, but still managed the same results.
Nose for the ball.
Indeed. 6.5 minutes to play here in the third quarter.
A little too much stick action there, I think.
And whistles off the play. Ball will go to the Panthers. Leominster called for the violation.
Coming back the other way.
And Deneen will trigger on the restart. Comes out to the right side of his cage. Now gets it back. And goes right up the middle of the field. Throws a loose ball toward the sideline. Out of bounds. The ball back to Leominster. Second quarter to play here in the third quarter. Leominster's lead is 10. What a difference a year can make between these two teams. Of course, Kate reported right off the top, Marlborough graduating 4 very key offensive pieces from last year, and certainly for Coach Ralph Bono and squad, it has made a difference in this one tonight. Young players learning to develop just 2 games in.
My favorite part is the defenders just chatting it up when they're not.
Nothing you can do. Gotta wait. Nice body position for Osek. Makes his way by 3 Blue Devils, and Osek's on his horse. Up the middle of the field, poked away. Larson picks up the loose ball. Larson comes back up, can't connect with Moran. Ball rolling along the sideline and run down by Cam DeWolf. And so Leominster's offensive possession continues. DeWolf, roll dodge, took a cross check from the keeper. Deneen coming out of the circle. Loose ball getting hacked on that backside.
Go, Lizzie, go.
DeWolf slings it up the right side. Finds
crowd
Dawson.
getting fired up.
Yes, all of a sudden, a feisty crowd, feeling a little adrenaline.
Lots of coaches in the dance tonight.
Flag out behind the play.
Go
Loose ball scooped up by Larson. Larson with some room. Whips the shot into the back of the cage.
Johnny on the spot right there. Picked that loose ball up in front of the net.
And drove it home. And another man-up opportunity for Leominster on the delayed penalty call.
No, they still got to put the guy in the box, even though there was a score during the penalty.
They ran him
initiation
off after that first play.
Yeah.
So
Osek with his 3rd penalty on the night.
See, we're getting a.
yeah, I'm going to report this over to the near side.
Yeah. See what the official has.
Ooh.
Oh, he's been tossed.
Yes, it appears he
Double
has
minor
been.
there.
So Connor Osek called for a series of penalties that involved slashing. They believe it was fairly severe. They hit him for 2 minutes, followed it up with another minute, then said it was a total of 5 he was out of the game, and they've got to put somebody else in the box.
But mind you, Osek's smallest person out on the field.
And Coach Bono having a back and forth with a lacrosse official on the near side, and he was had none of that.
Not real happy with that turn of events right there. Losing a player. Plus 3 minutes and penalties in the box, or is it going to be
a long
5?
Man-up opportunity?
Yeah, all right, back to action.
Indeed, hey, the restart coming here on the face-off. And in this case, in the middle of the field, They call a penalty against Leominster on the face-off, so violation there. Not able to pick it up was Lucas Taylor. So Taylor will run off, and Leominster will run Ryan Iacy back out on the field.
Going to have a restart here.
Yep, indeed, right from midfield.
Run the ball up.
Damon Coltrane. Coltrane, a physically imposing player. Long distance bounce pass will find its mark. Panthers control, and they're going to set up that, again, cycling the ball, and they can't connect the pass. Out of bounds it goes.
Four-corner offense.
Yeah, they're going to work some combination of that four-corner, cycle ball around with maybe a little weave they were going to set up on the near side, and they just couldn't connect the pass.
Ooh, nice move.
Yeah, nice job by Iacy to check. Then another two. He's up, and we're losing control. 11-goal lead for Leominster.
Looking for some play on.
Pushing, shoving, conversation. The officials are going to come together.
This ought to be good.
A little rough action
Feisty.
there. Bodies flying around out of the pile.
Conversations persist. A lot of white and orange in the middle of the field.
9 for Marlborough's coming off already.
He clearly knows he's part of the situation.
Yep, he's already got 2 penalties for slashing and cross-checking in the first and second quarter.
Pablo Garcia called for 2 minutes for unnecessary roughness.
If he gets another penalty, he'll be out of the game as well. Things are getting feisty.
Now, what is the penalty maximum?
It sounds like
5 minutes.
5
Sounds like 5 minutes.
ejection, how many penalties?
It's 5
5
minutes.
penalties
No,
or 5
total
minutes?
5 minutes.
total 5 minutes of accrued penalty time.
Oh, that's what if he had 2 earlier, 2 and
456 to 256 for the first one.
getting some information up here in the box.
The tabulation over here on the near side. It's a mathematical game.
Yeah,
Bill
let's
Thomas.
show you who he's talking to right here. Mike, how'd it work? Wait,
There
Mike.
we go.
Hi,
There
Mike.
we go, yeah. Mike's athletic director Dave Palazzi, all up here on press row. This is what happens when you let the analyst get hold of the camera. All of a sudden, everybody's involved.
Everybody's a start today.
And here we go on the restarts. Ryan Iacy with control. Iacy feeds Dawson. Dawson goes with that side sling shot wide of the cage, backed up by Leominster's Zach Moran. Now make it DeWolf on the backup. And now the restart. This Moran to Iacy. Iacy roll dodge, squares his shoulder, shot, score!
Taking advantage of the 2-man advantage. Advantage of it? Now, I'm trying to dissect it. We only had 3 guys back here on offense, so I guess you can move your guys around and still balance yourself off.
Either way,
It's interesting.
it hasn't made much of a difference.
No,
if
you're running with less bodies on the field, which is going to cause you to expend more energy one way or the other when you're down, especially down 2.
All even. Everybody's released.
All right, so everybody is released on that score, and the man-up opportunity for Leominster strikes for their 13th point of the night, 13-1. Just 4 minutes to play here in quarter number 3. Rivalry Family Media's coverage of spring athletics all across the region, and right now it's boys lacrosse, Leominster and Marlborough. Happy to have this one here for you.
Larson with control again.
And once again wins another face-off. Larson doing a great job tonight.
Can't keep up with him.
And Leominster controls.
Oh, hello, sir. Is he in the wrong place?
I'm not entirely certain. DeWolf, meanwhile, with control, left side of the cage. Finds Larson. Fix right, goes left, throws up brakes, cycle it back to the top, and Leominster will reset. Cordio for Cran. Now back of the net. DeWolf corralled. DeWolf.
Go over the top.
Yeah, thought about the defender found Larson. Larson took the shot, and it hit Deneen, side of the cage, and went long. Leominster with the backup. And on the restart, it will be Taylor. Taylor, who was awfully busy in the first half, has been quiet here in the second. Finds this time Moran. Moran stopped off the shot. It was knocked down by Deneen, center mass, and under 3 minutes to play in the third. 13-1. the lead right now for Leominster. Deneen sips a pass up the middle of the field to nobody in particular, but it was hauled down there. Like 47, Kate. My roster definitely doesn't go up
On it. On it.
Kate is trying to chase down some numbers. Jerseys were changed
47, Jake Perez.
Maybe it was Jack. He was formerly 14.
Oh, Jack.
Turnover here at midfield.
Yeah, Leominster's got the ball right back. This is Kyle Philbin now. Kyle Philbin with the long stick all the way to the cage. Taken out, but got the pass complete to Wolf. The Wolf looking at time for Jack Philbin. Both Philbins out on the field. And the loose ball makes its way to the circle. Got scooped up by Deneen.
Action back and forth.
2 minutes to play here in the third quarter. Bouncing ball. Dawson down goes the defender. Flag out from long distance. Official nearest the play didn't throw the flag. The one off the play by about 25 football yards came up with the flag.
I think this one's going to be on Leominster.
I'm thinking so. It looks like a slash is the signal.
So, Lawson?
Or being here at Doyle Field outside of football season, it could be the play clock expired. Bill Thomas gave me a pity laugh for that bad joke. I appreciate it, Bill Thomas. Anytime you
got to reach for something.
That was pitiful.
Thank you, dear. And down on the play, it's Dawson who will get called for the penalty.
Only the second time that Marlborough's been man up in this game.
Waiting for a restart here. The official get back in position.
I'm actually not noticing anybody with the ball at
right
this
at
moment.
center.
Oh, yep, we found one.
Got center.
Yeah, it looks like Landry.
Now if I can find him, we're all set.
Midfield, everybody.
There's Landry. All right, and away we go. And now whistles and a timeout taken. 1:51 to play in third quarter. 13-1 Leominster's lead here on Rivalry Family Media. We continue with more in a moment.
Nailed
Phantom horn. Phantom horn.
More come on Rivalry Family Media after this timeout. 1:52 to play here in the third quarter. 13-1 Leominster lead. Back to historic Doyle Field here on Rivalry Family Media alongside Bill Thomas and Kate Robbins.
Fourth quarter, that's right.
Todd Robbins for Rivalry Family Media tonight. Happy to have you a part of our family on this broadcast. Again, available on demand anytime on YouTube. Search out Rivalry Family Media. See some of those great basketball games we had for you at the tail end of the winter season, and obviously many more spring sports to come as we continue over the rest of April and on through May.
We're hoping spring shows up, that's all.
Spring, according to our official weatherman here at RFM, that would be the local groundhog. Or flamingo here in Leominster. I believe we were supposed to be well into spring. Here's a side wide shot and a score. This was Andrew Landry, found the back of the cage, and it's the second goal of the night for the Panthers, and first in a substantial while.
Marlborough taking a long time. It's almost 10 and a half minutes to get their second goal here in this third quarter.
And so they find themselves now in a 13-2 situation.
So we're back in on Lawson here on this face-off.
Yes, indeed.
Watching how he's working his magic here. definitely got a special technique.
He does. Doesn't
It's
necessarily
just
drop
something-
all the way down to both
No,
knees. Like you see,
he's in a crouch and he's down on, definitely.
It's a pincer. He creates a pincer.
in some ways he might. This is where you want that overhead cable cam.
Ooh, that was
He
nice.
just spun off.
He just spins the player out of the position. Great technique.
Uses his body to render that situation.
Controls the action.
Yes, and now here he is. Passes the ball off. And Leominster running a little weave.
And coming off the field now, getting a little break. Once again, he's out there for the face-offs, Todd. You talked about that. Lawson being spelled over here on the fly.
Yeah, and Jimmy
Can
Cran
substitute
steps
like
in for him.
hockey.
Well, that's just it. They can sub behind the play. As soon as the player that they're subbing for gets over to the blue line, you can run out onto the field. Leominster slowing down the action in the final minute of the third quarter. Here's Nate Taylor. Taylor back for DeWolf. DeWolf snaps it out to the right side. It's Moran. Couple shoulder fakes. Rips a shot inside the left post. And puts another one on the board. And makes it a 12-point game at 14-2 with 32 seconds to play in quarter three.
We got a hole for the last shot, but nothing doing. As soon as he saw an opening, blasted it home.
And I love that three-quarter shot that you see generated. There's just so much torque.
A lot of power out of that.
Absolutely.
What's speed on the ball, Todd? Any idea?
No, that's a great question,
100?
Bill Thomas.
It's gonna be 100
we will
probably.
add radar gun is
Yeah.
on the
Is that on the list?
on the list.
The wish list?
My Amazon account cannot handle any more of this. So between the two of you, stop.
We could use it when we get to baseball,
That's what I'm
softball. We
saying.
actually add to some technical.
Well, in the meantime, Bill Thomas, what we have is a chalkboard. You can guess how fast this
Okay,
speed
well,
is.
that's
It's not 100.
a stopwatch.
Definitely not 100. Not 100.
Rochette with control. He controls
15
for Leominster.
seconds.
Midfield left. Yeah, and the final 10 ticks here of the third quarter. Leominster's Adam Couch will scoop it up. Little tap dance there to get the ball into his cross.
If he gets
Final
the last
5
second
ticks
shot.
now. Took a shot wide, backed up by Leominster. Triple zeros through three quarters from historic Doyle Field to score. Leominster 14 and Marlborough 2. Leominster has controlled from the jump, if you will, here from opening faceoff. Anthony Larson's opening faceoff win and then subsequent sprints down the middle of the field pretty much has spelled what the entirety of this game has ultimately looked like from start to finish thus far. Fourth quarter coming up here from historic Doyle Field. And Kate, as
me.
you look out there, once again adding those third quarter numbers, Leominster continues to show through the numbers just how dominant their possession of the ball has been.
Yeah, you know it's a problem when the penalty statistics for your opponent far exceed their scoring statistics, and that has certainly been the case for Marlborough. Right now, 2 goals by Garcia and Landry from Marlborough. For Leominster, Moran has had 3 goals. Couch has had 2 goals. Taylor has had 4 goals. Larson has 2 goals. Van Mol with 1. Dawson with 1. And IAC with 1 as well. And that's 14-2. Advantage Leominster right now. They're leading in absolutely every category. The biggest ones, of course, face-off, ground balls, shots, score. You name it, except for penalties, which is really, a great thing. Only 2 penalties thus far for Leominster in this one.
And if you are Coach Colin Davis, you've got to be pleased with how this season has started. A dominant win over your crosstown rival in game number 1, and now your first league action. And once again, that domination continues, and that spells good things, of course, or at least good things to build up.
So I have a little info. Fourth quarter, they're up by 12 running time. So we'll see.
Not a big secret. It's actually in the MIA paperwork.
We want Leominster to score a couple of quick goals.
Todd.
My math, although not good, Bill Thomas, it's 14-2. That number exists right now.
Let's see.
So if that number goes away, do we then have to
Play stoppage time? I would imagine we would.
Back to center court.
Yeah, right
Center
back.
court. Midfield, everybody. It's still midfield.
Right on top of that running devil.
Goodness. The running devil should also be on the gym floor. Just
Uh-oh.
Kate's lobbying. They said get your pencils ready. in your watercolors, and it can be a happy tree wherever you want it, Jake.
You don't want me to do that.
Leominster pops it up and wins draw control. It took a bit. Leominster able to get to it. Body check action there. Pops the ball loose, and the Panthers with it. And they've got numbers as well. Nice job by Kyle Casey to swim move his way free. And the first 30 seconds of the fourth quarter is controlled by the Panthers.
Marlborough into that 4-corner stall, 5-corner.
And they're finding every which corner they possibly can to try to cycle and then again try to open up lanes to go to the net. Leominster doing a good job to pack the middle there and not allow them any free movement.
Leominster playing what I refer to as a zone-type defense. Everybody's got a little area they're covering.
Ooh, nice spin move.
Yes, indeed. Got a
Nice
shot
save.
off and knocked down there by Abishan. And the ball bounces loose to the senior captain goalie, Kenny Abishan. Made the save on the outlet up the field as well. That's Kyle Philbin. As we go under 11 minutes here in the fourth quarter.
Ooh.
Ball pops loose. Leominster gets it in transition. This is Cran.
Scooted that ball.
Jimmy Cran taking the assault down the left side by the long stick. And now Cran trying to keep his body between his stick and the defender. And now it's Zach Moran. Moran down the right side. And will slowly take the ball back toward X very methodically. Defense again, all game long, not willing to chase. I tried the behind the back shot, wouldn't go for Dawson. Ball popped loose. It was corralled in by Moran.
Let's see that again.
I know, a trick move right there.
This finds its way to Jack Philbin. Philbin to Dawson. And now Leominster content to cycle the ball around the outside. Here's Cran. Cran to the mid-box, now works its way back around for DeWolf at X. Under 10 to play here in the fourth quarter. Find its way back top, long-distance shot. Leominster's got the backup as the Panthers refuse to play anybody on the backside of that attack area. And Moran is in the neighborhood. Moran for DeWolf. DeWolf a double team. Finding sticks in all directions, kicks it back for Moran. Moran now goes back top of the key, Dawson. Dawson finds its way to Cran. Cran creates a little space with the defender, now drops it off for DeWolf. DeWolf around for Moran, and Leominster cycling the ball. Back to DeWolf. DeWolf the loose cradle, kicks it back, finds Moran. Moran looking for a possible pass, found a connection there in Taylor on a bounce. Now back for Moran at X.
Content to take their time.
Certainly no need to rush. Up 12, 14-2 Leominster's lead. And winding down toward 8.5 minutes to play.
Burning clock right now.
Moran up top of the key, Cran. Cran with the shot. Scooped up by Deneen. And now Deneen will start to move the ball forward. Dangerous passes coming from Deneen to open these possessions. He'll get it back. Now he'll use his legs.
Whoa.
Deneen long way from home, but he's cradling. He's going to take it all the way in transition. This is the goalie, Deneen, taking it all the way downfield on the attack. Taking it out of the air. Flag is on the way. Has a cross check. He didn't like that. Took umbrage on that one. Dawson out more flags.
Holy cow.
Frustration start to boil over. He turns back around, throws another cross check. Here comes another player into the conversation from long distance.
Trying to get his player out of there, I think.
Holy cow.
Did not like that. Took exception to the situation. 8:15 to play in the fourth quarter. Leominster's leads 12, and the keeper is going man down.
Let's see what we got here.
Oh.
And a nice job there. That's Jack Badavas.
The 14.
Badavas came in as the leader and said,
well,
we're not going to do that.
Good job.
That's senior leadership
Take
right
control
there.
right there, yeah.
So we're going to have several penalties.
I would dare say there was both flags the officials own were out on
I'm
the
going to
field.
rate 19 down.
Yeah, I was going to say, certainly I would see that.
Yep, 10 for Leominster.
Leominster's got 10 over there, so right now you're in an even situation depending on how many minutes they assess on each side.
Leominster has had, Dawson has had 60 seconds for cross-checking. You did stop. I had to stop because you stopped the clock. Caught me off guard.
Extended
delay here. Gives us an opportunity to remind you, of course, this game available on demand on YouTube. Search at Rivalry Family Media. And, of course, this delayed stream on Facebook. You can share it out there on your Facebook page at Media Rivalry. You'll also find us on Twitter at Media Rivalry as well. Next broadcast for us will be in tape delay, but it will be Patriots Day Monday. That's Marathon Monday here in Massachusetts. Fitchburg and Leominster softball. What better place than at the Diamond, weather permitting, on a Marathon Monday. 11 a.m. is the supposed first pitch. That coming over at the Leominster Lassie Field. Come on out, be a part of that one on what we hope will be a beautiful day. And we look forward to seeing Coach Lauren Hatfield's bunch. And, of course, Kate getting her debut as a softball analyst.
Being told inclement weather, but it better be nice.
Good. Yeah. Todd, we're just going to sit back and let Kate.
I'll go by myself.
The entire broadcast.
Softball field.
Yeah.
Oh, Billy, you are in for a treat.
I can't wait.
You have never lived, Bill Thomas, unless you've come on a vacation with us and found an empty softball field.
Or a youth game going on.
Billy, you have the coaches and the officials?
I do. I got the
meeting of the minds.
I think they're going to throw two of them out.
Coach Colin Davis agreeing with the conversation. Coach Ralph Bono there as well.
New goalie.
Yeah, new goalie coming in. So I'm thinking Deneen's night is done. Cold goalie going in there.
Well, at least for the penalty time. You need another goalie.
True.
A lot of explaining going on here.
It's like a dissertation.
Andy Moog just came off the bench here.
Goalie.
Got that same kind of stocky approach. We'll get a name that goes with that number at some juncture as well.
31. 31.
Yeah, I want to thank the great folks at Marlborough. Nicole Fallon got us over a roster kind of last minute. Of course, these first couple of weeks of any athletic season, always a challenge to get numbers and rosters and players. And a good opportunity to remind you, by the way, if you haven't paid your athletic fees here in Leominster, you don't have a uniform to wear right now. So please pay your athletic fees. And you'll get your new uniform. The athletic department thanks you for making sure that you stay on pace. 8:15 to play here in the fourth quarter.
And physicals. Make sure your physicals
are
current and up to date.
in. Make sure you get all that paperwork in. This is not a bad time if you play a fall sport, by the way. You get your physicals updated.
Oh, everything's done online.
How about that?
How do you get a physical online?
That's a new one. Don't worry, the insurance still gets billed full price, Bill Thomas.
No, really not that part.
That's a new one. Never mind. This could go sideways real quick.
Hang on a second. So that was reincarceration was the third one. What was the other two? Rehabilitation.
Rejuvenation.
Words that begin with R if we're here in the first half. Officials still having a discussion down here with both head coaches.
Location.
Reintegration.
And now Coach Colin Davis talking with the goalie, Deneen. A great show of sportsmanship. Yep. Deneen certainly, obviously in the emotion of it all, it looks like he may be done.
Go.
It was a conversation, and now there's going to be a team meeting.
I'm assuming warnings.
Yeah.
Do you think warnings were given to both sides?
It's entirely possible. It's also possible that they may have decided this one.
No. He said for a minute. He said, "Come here for a minute."
Okay, he did say, "Come here for a minute."
Come here for a minute. Yeah. It's a bit of a reset.
Yes,
we really did get an explanation. We didn't get an explanation though from you.
No, it seemed like there was a conversation that transpired, obviously along the near sideline, and they weren't exactly able to, get that sorted out. So
we'll to run the clock. No, don't run the clock.
No, don't.
I was hoping the clock was. Are we on running time here? With
they were, but then obviously this long extended delay. This is a good time, Bill Thomas, to acknowledge a great hard worker here at Leominster Athletics. If you had an unsung hero award, there he is. Matty Houle has been working those sidelines for many, many, many years, 20, 25 years or more for Matt Houle. We thank him for all of his hard work and dedication to the Leominster Athletic Program, and of course to athletics all across. When there's playoff games here at Doyle Field that have little or nothing to do with Leominster, he's also here supporting those teams as well, and that's the great work. There's always the faces in the crowd, like they have in Sports Illustrated. That's one of those faces.
I think we could nickname him Mr. Hydrate.
Yeah, he is.
Make sure everybody stays hydrated.
Yeah, and
both teams,
a man
not
for every
the whole
season.
Teams. He helps out both sides.
Indeed, he does.
So I think the goalie for Marlborough's out, but Dawson for Leominster is going to be there for a bit. in the penalty area?
Yes. That's what I kind of took it to be as well. It appeared
Didn't
to me
tell
it
us
was
how
done.
much.
No, but a while it sounds like.
I'm going to give him a 5-minute major
Yeah, I was going to say.
Well, it looks like the goalie is
for fighting.
I was,
see it, Marvel's goalie walking around here.
They're fighting!
that's what I was thinking as well. That's where you were going for that. It's not Kerry Frazier, the NHL official, but I'll get the name. It'll come.
Let's give him. I'm going to give Dustin 60 seconds for fighting.
After cooler heads prevail and a mandatory cool-down period, we continue action here in the fourth quarter. Final 8 minutes to play in Quart 4, 12-goal Leominster lead at 14-2 here on Rivalry Family Media.
Interesting.
Marlborough with possession.
Oh no, the goalie's back in the box.
Roll off shot. It was wide of cage, but backed up by the Panthers. This is Pablo Garcia. Garcia's got one of the 2 goals for the Panthers tonight. He got inside position, went with a little jump shot, tried to get around the crease, and it was knocked down there by Aubuchon. Now a little swim move for Aubuchon, gets some room. Up the field. Great diving attempt there by the Panthers to pick it off in transition. Loose ball, kicked forward, long stick, slashed out of the hands, and now back the other way, and all of a sudden reckless abandon in all directions. Down the left sideline here, Panthers have it poked loose, picked right back up. And now whistles,
What's that one?
and the ball will go back to Leominster.
Huh.
Okay.
That looked like something on Leominster right there.
Like a shot clock violation.
Again?
Yeah.
We need to get the official signals.
Ross, we need a signal chart. Add that to our list of things. Loose ball.
They sell them on Amazon?
Enough, Bill Thomas. Bill Thomas, you're getting my credit card bill if you keep this up.
Ball bounces loose, and here we go the other way. This is also a good dimension. If you'd like to underwrite these great broadcasts here on Rivalry Family Media, please feel free to reach out at Media Rivalry. We welcome all comers.
Donations,
Logos, all that can be yours if the price is right.
Exactly. We might even get you some on-air time.
Indeed.
Oh, Bill's in sales. Did you hear that? Sell.
Whatever it takes. Gotta expand the brand.
Finlandi ripped the shot. Big hand pump adds another one. 15-2 Leominster's lead.
Did you say Landry?
Philandis.
Oh, Philandis.
Yeah, Evan Philandis on the field for maybe a matter of a minute or two and finds himself on the scoreboard.
Gets himself a goal.
That's how you want to go about doing that. And running time at this point, again, 12 or more goals in the fourth quarter, a differential or lead for any one team results in running time. It's a form of a mercy rule or Eastern Mass, they refer to it as a slaughter rule. I think mercy sounds better, but
respect.
They do refer to it in Eastern Mass as a slaughter rule. I was like, ooh, that's dramatic.
That's a playground thing.
Yeah, very much so.
All playground right there.
Leominster, maybe heavy one player, Jimmy Cran coming over the near side. So Cran off the field, lots of room in the middle of the field. And now the whistle, and the battle begins. The long sticks going in, trying to help out the draw control, and the Panthers come with only their second win, and an immediate turnover for a violation.
We're going to learn these violations on the field like this.
You'll find
What did he do?
Thomas,
What did he do?
Even when you watch that great coverage on that four-letter network that covers just about everything, you won't find a lot of explanations there either.
That was a fun shot.
Bounce shot ends up wide. Leominster stayed in position, and they will keep it. Nice run down there, Lucas Taylor, to maintain body position along the end line. 4.5 minutes to play here in the fourth quarter, and a 15-2 Leominster lead. Bill Thomas on camera, Kate Robbins on stats, analysis, and more, and Todd Robbins here with you on the play-by-play. Flag out on the field. Happy to have you along with us and a part of our family here on Rivalry Family Media. Hope you're enjoying this one in deep delay or on demand via our social platforms.
Bodies splayed.
Yeah, indeed. Bodies biting the turf in all directions. The ball loose. Here's Lucas Taylor. Came up with it for a moment, and now the Panthers will grab control.
Let's see what the call is. Delayed penalty.
Original goalie back in from Marlborough.
Deneen's penalties have now expired, so he'll be back out on the field.
Now who's
Meanwhile,
in
a man-up opportunity coming for Leominster.
Are you sure? Because somebody went into the box. We got multiple people in box right now.
23 was a call on the field. So that's Eddie Carius. Carius got charged 2 minutes for a penalty out on the field. Looked like a slash. So a man-up situation for Leominster once again.
How do you see these things?
I'm watching the hand signals, and when we get that shotgun mic out there, Kate, when I remember to put the right pieces together, we would have heard the official mention that as well.
Oh, all right. He said something?
He did.
And made the hand signal.
Yes.
Don't you start the... It's already started over there, Mike.
3:05.
Mike wouldn't start the clock. That was already started.
It is.
Never shut it off.
Lucas Taylor, 3/4 shot, back of the cage, and another score.
Too quick.
Taylor has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 goals.
I was going to say, pretty much everybody on the team scored by now, I think.
I was going to say, anybody who's had significant
How many different
time.
goal scorers, Kate, quickly?
Oh, 1,
I'm
2,
guessing
3,
6 or 7.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
8. Ooh.
16 goals, 8 different scorers, roughly 2 goals apiece. 2.5 to play here in the fourth quarter. 16-2 Leominster's lead. Second straight game, 16 or more goals for the Blue Devils. Coach Colin Davis has got to be happy with the offensive output. 32 goals in 2 games.
Well, let's look on the other side. Only giving up 2 goals each game, too. I mean, defensively, they've been playing just as good.
Ball bounces loose off the draw control, swatted forward. Leominster trying to stick a fork in this one. That was Grautsky. And it ends up coming into the cross of Garcia. Garcia with the speed for the Panthers. Now cradles to the left side of the cage. $150 to play here in the fourth and final quarter. Tom Stevie. Stevie passes it off for Coltrane. Now cradling here over to the far side. Panthers trade positions here. That's Johnston. Johnston snaps the shot, center mass, and right into the cross of Aubuchon. Final 90 seconds of the fourth quarter and a 16-2 Leominster lead. Aubuchon faked it, and here he comes. Deneen was the last keeper who came up the middle of the field, and he paid for his efforts. But here comes Aubuchon to get into the act, to cross-checks, and runs out of real estate, and it's a turnover back to the Panthers.
Well, it's out of bounds over there, I guess.
Yes. That's correct.
This is always the part about sports like soccer, Bill Thomas, and lacrosse and others that I struggle with that floating offside. And this line only means something in certain circumstances, but we hope it's entertaining, if nothing else.
I'm entertained.
Media. Speed of action, end to end, lots of offense. It's been everything that we promised for, again, the fastest growing team sport in the United States.
Just think of
boys
soccer,
and girls lacrosse.
soccer in the 80s. And this is catching fire.
Your traditional
at every level.
bat ball sports that used to dominate the spring dominates no more. Final 30 seconds here of the fourth quarter. Ball pops up on the attack end for the Panthers. Leominster trying to get a hold of it. Now pop up right in front of the crease. Ball still loose, bouncing. Panthers with it, unbalanced situation. Ball bounces wide of the cage. Still controlled by the Panthers. Final 10 ticks. Panthers might register one more, or like to register one more here. Final 5 ticks now. Bounce shot from long distance. Out of play, backed up by the Panthers, and 000s are on the board. And here come the teams out on the field to celebrate with their respective goalies. And for Leominster, they celebrate another 16-2 victory in 2 consecutive games to open the year. Also their first Mid-Watch B victory of the 2019 season as well. So they improve their record to 2-0 overall and 1-0 in Mid-Watch B. Meanwhile, the Panthers, they fall to 1-1 in this early season, and their first loss in Mid-Watch B, 0-1 in early action. Here on Rivalry Family Media, you see the teams head toward midfield to congratulate one another. 16-2. Leominster's lead on what, in the end, although a little chilly, turned out to be a very nice night here at historic Doyle Field. Hearty crowd on hand from start to finish. A part of this one.
3 different seasons, all in 2 hours.
At least that. The only thing we missed was the 70-degree temperatures to get that 4-season day.
Great showing by the Leominster Blue Devil boys, though, coming off that big win over Fitchburg to open the season. You never know what you're going to get opening day.
That's right.
But to be able to back this up with this strong of a showing against a Marlborough team coming off a win too. So, going forward, this plays out well for the Leominster Blue Devils.
Says a lot. 32 goals in 2 games. Talk about announcing your presence with authority at the start of a season. That's one way to do it. And I think the fast start has got to be something that you cannot underestimate that this team had, posting 5 or 6 goals in the matter of the first, about 5 minutes of the third quarter. I mean,
exactly.
That is absolutely unbelievable when you think output and, grabbing control of a situation. So certainly can't underestimate the importance of that in this one as well. As Kate continues her final tabulations, we'll step aside for a moment here on Rivalry Family Media. We'll be back with a final word, final numbers as well. Stay with us. 16-2, Leominster, a winner over Marlborough. More to come. You're watching Leominster Lacrosse here on RFM. Back to historic Doyle Field in Leominster. Once again, that final score, Leominster a 16-2 victory over Marlborough, as we welcome you back to our press box broadcast location in the Doyle box here in Leominster's Doyle Field, and alongside Bill Thomas, Kate Robbins, Todd Robbins here with you for some final stats and analysis. And Kate, run us down those final numbers again in what has been a dominating Leominster night right from the opening draw. Controlled by Larson and run basically down Marlborough. The rest of the game pretty much looked just like that.
Oh, it certainly did. Right now, scoring statistics for Leominster. They have scoring contributions from 8 different players. I'm going to run down the list in order. In the first quarter, you have scoring contributions by Moran, Couch, 3 by Taylor, Larson, 1 by Larson, and 1 from Van Mol. Second quarter, things quiet down a little bit for Leominster, Couch, and Moran, each with a goal in the second quarter. Third quarter, Leominster heats back up. Dawson, Taylor, Larson, Iasi, and Moran all contribute to the score tally. And in the fourth, Philandis and Taylor round things out for the 16-2 victory over Marlborough. Overall statistics for the Blue Devils: 46 ground balls, 37 shots on goal. They were 1 of 6 in man-up situations. They won 14 face-offs. They only lost 5 face-offs in the game. So Anthony Larson absolutely stellar in this one for the Blue Devils. On the flip side of things, for the Panthers of Marlborough, Garcia and Landry each with scoring contributions for the tally sheet. Penalty statistics, however, for the Panthers, a plethora of them.
Yes, there was certainly a lot of them.
34 ground balls for the Panthers, only 10 shots on goal, or nil 0 on man-up situations. Then they won 5 face-offs on the evening. Goalie Deneen had 9 saves for the Panthers. That would have been the highlight on the stat sheet for them. Again, 16-2 victory, favor of Leominster. Leominster now 2-0. Marlborough now 1-1 in the early goings of the 2019 spring season for boys lacrosse in the Midwatch.
And of course, the teams that you're always chasing, in this sport, are the teams that have been playing this for a long period of time. In that next division up, you've got, Shrewsbury and St. John's and Littleton, teams that were early adopters of this sport and have built on that success. And Leominster has had years where they've been up and fighting in that pack in the larger division, and then obviously they've had years where they struggle. But right now, with 32 goals in the first 2 games you've played, you haven't exactly hit the meat of your schedule, but you're 2 weeks in. You haven't hit the warm stretch of the season yet, and right now they're producing, and they're producing in a large way.
Well, they're definitely showing skills, and with a centerman like Larson, who can control face-offs, start fast breaks, and the work he did behind the goal, just running the offense and picking his slots. Very efficient, and he's the main contributor. I know we kept track of goals, but I wouldn't be surprised if he didn't have a hand in every goal in some fashion. If we treat it like hockey, who touched the two passes before the goal or one pass. I think he had his hand probably in 14 of the 16 goals at least.
I don't think there's any question about that. Before we wrap things up, I'll take first thoughts here. Here's your first call of lacrosse. What'd you think? It's the first time you two have spent any kind of extended time around the sport.
I actually enjoyed the game. I enjoyed trying to broadcast it. Following the ball is a little difficult, but I hope everybody enjoys it. I know I enjoyed it, and I'm looking forward to doing this again along with our other sports that we have coming up on Rivalry Family Media, and onward and upward.
A great opportunity to see just how fast and offensive-oriented this game really is. Physical, end-to-end action, and it's a sport that, like I said, has existed about 15 years, and aside from a couple of really great years Leominster has had, is kind of fairly quiet, and it seems like a sport that the reason it's one of the fastest growing sports, and not only does it attract players, but it also attracts the attention of folks, and we're hoping through these broadcasts we can draw some attention. Credit, by the way, to the Leominster Lacrosse Boosters Club here, who's doing everything they can to try to promote this great game.
But snack bar open today, come on out. I mean,
and contributing to a great atmosphere, even in a small, not so great night.
One of the things that I at least took note of is the JV program in the boys' side, and of course the varsity program. Lengthy rosters.
Yes.
I mean, you take a look at a lot of the bat and ball sports. I know that Leominster has had state champion winning baseball team. They're very good in Midwatch A. But the numbers really do. They're in lacrosse right now, and got a lot of talent out there on the field, and a lot of names that you hear every single Friday night in the fall, and a lot of names that you hear every winter when the hockey games are being called on TV and on the radio as well. So a lot of really familiar faces and names, a lot of 2 and 3 sport athletes here for these young men, and it's just yet another way to condition. If this is not the primary sport for many of them, they have other primary sports, but what a way to condition, what a way to be able to have that team atmosphere. And one of those things that you always hear about in sports is that you have student athletes that tend to specialize too early on.
Certainly.
Some of the greats, I remember watching an interview with Wayne Gretzky, and hockey's not even his favorite sport. He said right out, hockey's not even my favorite sport, and he's the great one. That's literally what we call him. And so sometimes it becomes a very difficult to see when student athletes at a young age tend to specialize so young, so early on. So I've really been pleased to see those names that we're seeing in football. They're not just specializing. They have, definitive goals in a specific sport, but they really are doing a nice job diversifying. I know when we go to the baseball diamond, same thing. We're going to see that with the boys. Obviously the girls, some of those names we see in basketball, we're going to see on the softball diamond as well. And I'm sure when we get those girls across rosters, we're going to see the same thing. You're going to see soccer players and field hockey players. Those names are going to transfer very well as well. So I just like to see the diversification of the sports, because I don't want to see people specialize too early. Specialize when you go to college.
Exactly.
Not right now.
No question.
I echo that all the way, Kate. These multi-sport athletes, especially in high school, take advantage of every opportunity that you have, because you're never going to relive these years again. And like you said, Kate, when you get to college, you want to continue to play sports, you pick your sport.
Well, because that'll be a full-time job at that point in time.
But at this level, it's nice to see the athletes, and I'm sure the athletic director and the coaches don't mind seeing their their main sport athletes also participate in other sports, like you said, for conditioning, just the toughness, and just to help build on those rivalries, because you keep seeing the same players across these different sports.
That's what I claimed swimming was. It was conditioning.
Conditioning, is that what it was? Oh, okay.
My swim season was conditioning.
Speaking of diversification,
Are we going to do a swim meet?
We are. Coming up. Looking forward to that. We were talking about it as we were watching the NCAA swimming and diving championships as well. That's something on the calendar. We hope to get some golf and a whole bunch more things as we progress through 2019. But speaking of diversifying, by the way, Les, we get pigeonholed here at Rivalry Family Media. We're hoping to really get the chance to branch out a little bit more through Central Massachusetts here. We're looking forward to hopefully getting some games featuring Fitchburg, St. John's, Shrewsbury. There's a St. John's Shrewsbury baseball game that we're really badly trying to work with both schools to hopefully get that into a TV-friendly time slot as well, or a web stream-friendly time slot as it may be. And, of course, if you want to be a part of this one, hey, reach out to us. You can send us a direct message at Twitter at Media Rivalry, or you can find us on Facebook at the same location at Media Rivalry, or on YouTube as well. Search up at Rivalry Family Media. Those same locations where you can find this one. It's on demand on YouTube at Rivalry Family Media. Of course, you've got this game right now in this special tape-delayed coverage and tape-delayed stream here on Facebook Live. And, of course, that going each and every time. Once it's out here, you can share it to all of your friends, teammates, and around the region as well at Media Rivalry on Facebook for your live and or tape-delayed broadcast of these as well. Share liberally. Bring them on. Like, follow, be a part of Rivalry Family Media. Thank you so much for being a part of this one here at historic Doyle Field. For Bill Thomas and Kate Robbins, I am Todd Robbins saying thank you so very much for joining us here tonight, where once again the final score, Leominster a 16-2 winner tonight over Marlborough in boys lacrosse as we open spring sports action here on Rivalry Family Media. Thank you so very much for being a part of our family. And until next time here on Rivalry Family Media, we say, so long, everybody.